honestly gets surrounded by a lot of mystery, myths, and just unnecessary anxiety. I'm talking about Vastu Shastra. Now, you've probably heard people talk about Vastu like it's some sort of esoteric magic, right? Or maybe this impossibly strict set of ancient rules where if you get a single inch wrong, your whole house is doomed. Well, as we're going to see today, that couldn't be further from the truth. We're looking at the source material to completely demystify this practice. We'll see that it's not magic at all, but actually a surprisingly simple, logical, spatial science based entirely on the natural world.
To kick things off, we really need to bust the biggest myth right away. The source material states it perfectly. Vastu Shastra is not complicated, it's very simple. And it really is. Some folks out there have made it incredibly complex, maybe to make it seem a bit more mysterious or exclusive, but at its core, it is absolutely straightforward. So throughout this explainer, I want you to keep that phrase in the back of your mind. If things start feeling overly complicated, you're probably straying from the original foundational principles. Our goal today is to just strip away all that confusion and look purely at what the actual science says.
So here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with Vastu. Is it complex or simple? Then we'll cover the 5 elements and 8 directions. After that, we'll dive into Vastu directions and their specific uses, followed by some serious mistakes people make. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to achieve that perfect balance of the 5 elements. Let's just jump right into the first section.
Section 1. Vastu, complex or simple?
So, what actually is Vastu Shastra? At its core, it's literally just the practice of properly placing the Panchatattva, which translates to the 5 elements, in their correct respective locations within a space. And really, that's it. It's all about taking these universal, natural elements and aligning them perfectly within the physical layout of your home. The idea is that when things are put in their natural, designated places, you achieve balance. Let's move along and see how this actually builds into a practical, usable system.
Section 2. The 5 elements and 8 directions.
Okay, so these 5 elements are absolutely fundamental to human existence. The Panchatattva consists of Agni, which is fire, Vayu, which is air, Jal, meaning water, Prithvi, which is earth, and Akash, or space. Now, these 5 elements need to be placed properly. And to do that, the physical plot of a space is divided up in directions. You've got your 4 main directions, right? East, west, south, and north. But just as importantly, there are 4 subdirections situated right between them: southeast, northwest, northeast, and southwest.
Of course, none of this really matters if you don't know which way you're actually facing. But the source material gives us this wonderfully simple grounding exercise to figure it out. Just imagine standing up right now. If you face the direction where the sun rises, you're looking east. By default, the direction behind your back is west. Your right hand points to the south, and your left hand points to the north. It's that easy. Once you have those 4 main pillars established, the subdirections just naturally fall perfectly into place right between them.
Section 3. Vastu directions and uses. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this illustrates the core logic of Vastu perfectly. If you picture your home's layout mapped out like a widescreen grid, you'll notice how the ancient names of the subdirections actually tell you exactly what element belongs there. Take Agni, for example. That's the southeast, and its name literally relates to Agni, or fire. So naturally, the main kitchen and dining room should go there. Then you have Vayavya in the northwest, relating to Vayu, or air. This is the zone for movement and release, which makes it totally ideal for toilets, bathrooms, septic tanks, or even guest rooms. Ishanya is the northeast. This relates to Ishwar, meaning God and the element of water. So this is exactly where your prayer room, your bore well, or a water well should be. Finally, Nairuchya is the southwest. This is your stable element, Prithvi, or earth. Stability means grounding, so this is where the master bedroom or a heavy storage room should be placed. See? It's a completely logical matrix.
But wait, we absolutely cannot forget the 5th element, Akash, or space. According to the texts, the very center of the Vastu, the middle of the home, represents this element. And the strict rule here is that this central area must always be kept entirely empty and open. There shouldn't be any heavy objects or structures here at all. Historically, older homes actually left this central part completely open to the sky, so you could literally see the Akash. Now, obviously, in modern apartments, that's usually impossible, but the principle remains the exact same. Keep the very center of your home as clear, open, and uncluttered as you you possibly can.
Section 4. Serious mistakes in Vastu.
Now, the source text calls out a massive flaw in how people handle modern real estate. Today, buyers get absolutely obsessed with the main gate or the entrance door. Like, they will literally base their entire purchasing decision on which direction the front door faces, believing that one single detail secures good Vastu. But in doing so, they completely ignore the rest of the house. It's crazy. You can have a perfect front door while the internal elements, the fire, water, earth, are just in complete chaos. Let's look at exactly what that chaos looks like.
Here's the first dangerous clash. We already established that the southeast is the Agni zone, right? The zone of fire, perfect for a kitchen. But what happens if you put a bore well or an underground water tank there instead? You are literally putting water into the zone of fire. The source text explicitly warns that water and fire have a natural enmity. They are total opposites. Placing a water source in the fire zone is considered highly dangerous and completely against the harmony of the Panchata Tattva.
And here's the second major clash, which is honestly equally problematic. The northeast, or Ishanya, is the zone of Ishwar and Gurus. It's the zone of God, of purity, and of clear water. So placing a toilet or a septic tank in the northeast is considered highly inappropriate and just fundamentally wrong. You are placing human waste management in the exact quadrant designated for reverence and purity. By ignoring these two massive internal clashes, just because a house happens to have a good main door, people end up living in severe elemental imbalance.
Section 5. Perfect balance of the 5 elements. Thankfully, the text provides a really reassuring, practical workaround for all of this called the quadrant rule. You see, you don't need a mathematically perfect pinpoint location for a room. Instead, you just divide the length and width of the plot into 4 segments, or quadrants: the southeast quadrant, the southwest quadrant, the northwest quadrant, and the northeast quadrant. So even if your kitchen doesn't sit on the exact, precise southeast directional line, as long as it falls generally within that southeast block, that quadrant, the balance is maintained. The exact same goes for the master bedroom in the southwest quadrant, the kids or puja room in the northeast, and the guest room or bathrooms in the northwest. It's really about general elemental zoning, not microscopic precision.
Which brings us to our final thought. We've seen today that Vastu Shastra really isn't this complex web of superstitions. It's just the logical mapping of fire, air, water, earth, and space to the layout of a home. When those elements are in their natural zones, the environment just feels right. So I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Is your home in balance with the 5 elements? Take a look around your own living space today through this new, simplified lens. You might be completely surprised by what you find. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this fascinating text today on The Explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.